8,
Now
7,
we live.
6,
All right, we're live.
1.
We are back on the saddle again. If you don't know that song, look it up. It's an awesome song.
I don't know the song.
Okay, DJ.
All right. So we back with it's me, Governor LoOpy, here at the Governor LoOpy's Round Table. And then we have Momma Tay and Sumo Trey, and I always love how that
Hey,
rhymes.
That's right.
it be like that.
Yeah. Oh.
It always be like that. Okay, so what we're gonna do tonight is we're doing things a lot different than I've been doing. I don't know if you pay attention to my channel. If you do, if you don't, whatever. I have 3 podcasts. I have Governor LoOpy's Rants. I have Story Time. I have. Hey Sumo, do me a favor and mute yourself.
Oh, shit.
I got Governor LoOpy's Rants. I got Story Time, and I have the Governor LoOpy's Round Table, which is where we are right now.
Yes.
Generally, Governor LoOpy's Round Table is I discuss relationships, bonding, dating, those things like that, experiences, our thoughts on it. All of us coming together to discuss it. But because it's Governor LoOpy's Round Table, I feel like anything can be brought to this table and discussed. So I've decided to take all my 3 podcasts, mash them into one, and have 3 segments.
3.
And
3.
we're gonna have 3 total segments, and they're gonna be this week's rant, story time with whoever gets to have the story time spot of that week. It's random. You'll know it when we start, or if I announce it a little bit before. And play the game. Play the game is all love, discussion, relationship type stuff. So what we're discussing today is the suicide depression trend, how it's becoming a trend. We're discussing with Sumo about his story, and it's going to be his story of triumph.
Triumph over depression.
That. And then we're going to go all the way down to play the game, and we're going to discuss about. I saw someone ask on Facebook, "Does love really exist?" And I found that to be a dumb question, but we're going to discuss the dumb question, and we're also going to discuss gender roles and generational gaps in gender roles. So we've got a plate full of things today. I'm happy about this new lineup and segment I got going on, but first and foremost, we're going to discuss the depression and, suicide trend. I don't get it. I get there's depression. I get there's suicide, and I get that it's real. I also get the true depression, like borderline, life depression, where it's a chemical imbalance. It messes up your head. I get that it exists. All of this. I do not, and I get that people need to talk about it. And I'm not saying it doesn't need to, people don't need to know that it's okay to talk about it with someone. I'm saying that why do I need to know all of your depressing business? Like, that should be private, something you discuss with someone that you can trust. Yes, it's safe to discuss these things. Yes, everyone advises to discuss these things, but why do you have to discuss them with the world? And doesn't it make your depression or sadness worse when people are commenting on it callously?
So you're talking about this discussion of depression in social media?
Probably, yeah. I think yes. Okay. That makes sense. So it's just like everybody's making it so public, making it so it's becoming a trend. I'm sad, so I'm depressed. I can't go on with life. I'm like, just sad, man. It's okay to be sad. It's a normal emotion. Sumo?
It happens. It be like this.
Hey, okay. First, before Sumo goes into his triumph over depression, you did indicate that there are 2 very different types of depression. There is actual clinically diagnosed depression, which is you've been to a doctor, the doctor says, yes, you have this disorder. Okay, and it is depression, and there is a chemical imbalance of hormones and a chemical imbalance within your brain that's causing this issue. So we have to medicate you to balance that, right? So there's the clinically, diagnosed depression that's physical, all right? But then there's the depression that's emotional, okay? And this is more along the line of what they used to call people neurotic. All right, there are two types of mental illness. There's a neuroses, and then there's a psychotic. Okay, the neurotic is the kind mostly everybody is. We all have issues. We are all really neurotic about something. Psychotic is the one where they're crazy and they're probably killing people or dreaming about killing people or thinking about eating and killing people or killing and eating people. I don't know which order. I don't think it matters. The point is that's psychotic. Okay, so when we're talking about depression, we're talking about the neurotic kind, the kind that's not clinically diagnosed, the kind that's emotional, and it stems from some issues in life, whether they're issues based in your childhood or issues based in what you're currently going through. Are we stating
Hey,
that?
it might be some sad people out here that want to eat some people. You never know.
They're psychotic. They're not sad. They're crazy. That's totally
It be
different.
like that.
It do. It really do. If they're sad because they're crazy, then yeah, maybe you're right. but yeah, that we're going on that. So on that note, uh, Sumo, your triumph over depression.
Oh, well, long, long ago, in a small town called Memphis, lived a boy. I ain't gonna say his real name because oh snap, Killzown, what's good, bud?
What's up, man?
Yeah,
I was just telling my story about, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
the trouble in life.
we have in the whole thing. I combined a lot of things, and the story time is now a segment in the round table.
I saw that.
yeah,
Yeah,
nice. So he was in the
Welcome to
middle.
Story Rant Time with
Story
love and life.
the rant is over. We at story time now.
rant round table.
Boom.
What's so funny?
Compact. We the
What?
compact PS2.
Oh, was they I have my spider sense was telling me that maybe I
I'm about to tell a long, boring story. This was about to happen.
It's not boring. You supposed to make it exciting, Sumo.
Yeah, Sumo.
Uh,
You know you're gonna
all right,
make it
so,
exciting with your silliness and just being you.
nah,
Therefore,
man.
anybody want to say anything about depression before Sumo tells the story?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Sumo
Skills
story
on.
time.
Get it?
All right. So depression. Depression is a word I feel loosely thrown around now because we're in such a day and age where it's like depression is mainstream. It may sound ugly, but in the way it is, it's like everybody has an opinion, so everybody's depressed. But there's a real thing called depression where it's like, where you know what I'm saying, where you really don't like to understand this story. You got to understand who I am in a way. So I gotta give you a little backstory of me. But unlike a lot of people, I was alone most of my life, and even now, I got a lot of people around me. I'm mostly alone because I choose to be. I was that generic, stereotypical, grew up treated like shit in the hood because I felt like I was different than everybody. Like I got that same story being checked for a whole period and not saying one thing, scared that I'm gonna get jumped because the guy checking me in the gang. Like I know how it is, you know what I'm saying, growing up in the hood and being there, but in the same aspect of that, I didn't let it control me. Cause even though people did bad shit to me, I just never had bad intentions in life. And I always thought it was something wrong with me because of it. And even when I was younger, my mom would she would send me to clinics because at a certain age it became weird that I was always just to myself. And like even apparently I found out people in my school thought I was gonna become a school shooter. They used to have people come talk to me at school and shit. So like
Right.
when I say
You
I
was
was
going. Wait a
alone,
minute, Sumo. Hold on. So they thought
okay.
you was gonna come
Hmm.
through there on some
It was this was
like,
about 2008 when the Sandy Hooks thing had just happened. So it was
oh
like
man, look,
I was in high school, and it was like the aspect of the only black kid that's always getting checked. Wait, no, this fat black kid that's always getting checked, but he doesn't say anything or talk to anybody. Apparently, they thought at some point I was gonna shoot the school up. I didn't know this until my
man.
mom told me later. Yeah, I feel
N- Not knowing that
exactly.
we just beat your ass after school, like
I
if we
know,
felt
right?
like it, but we tell you something good. So like I let it, cause it's funny that you say that. I don't want to interrupt, but I'm just gonna say
Are you good?
today, actually over this past week, it was found out that like at my old school, cause I went to
Hmm.
Luther North, right? Well, hold on, I ain't gonna tell you all the shit I told everybody, but the thing is, but
His
I went
real
to this.
name
I
is.
went to a private. I went to a private school, and I mean it's public knowledge. I don't be promoting it like that, but it's on.
Graduated 2000 and okay, okay.
Yeah, it's on there. I'm about to take it out, but it don't matter because I had already
Hmm.
said something about it. So I mean, fuck it. But the
Yeah.
thing about it is, um, in that situation, there was a kid that was getting bullied, right? And he got
Hmm.
into an argument because I guess somebody had said something to him. He said something to the next person. I guess, jumped off this little scuffle that got broken up, and I guess by one of the students. And then after school, the dude he got into it with his partner, who was both of them was football players. You know, he a new kid. He came
Hmm.
from I'm guessing near the south side because my granny over
Yeah.
on the south side came from the south side to get away from the gangs and this because on the south
Hmm.
side it's like it's really jumping off over there. It's going down on the north side,
Yeah.
but it's really going down on the south side on the low. It just the north side just
Hmm.
ain't got a whole bunch of stuff going on,
I
and
know exactly what you mean.
you know what I'm saying. So
Hmm.
he gets his jaw broke like Kanye. Like he got to get his mouth wired up, and they trying to
Dang.
make it seem like he got kicked out the school. And I already know how it goes. If you fight then they kick you out. Now they didn't kick out.
Hmm.
They punished the two students that did the jumping, but they saying,
The
well,
football players.
the football player they gonna keep them. They gonna kick them out
Wow.
off, kick them out the school. And then people saying, well, if he jumped it off, I'm like, it don't matter. They broke his jaw, and if one person gonna get expelled, everybody needs to get expelled.
Everybody.
Damn, it don't matter if he on the football team.
They
So
play
yeah,
favors because they on the football. It's so that irks me,
I
bro. I hate that type of shit so much.
and I had a it's funny that you say that. I had a what was it? Like I had a rumor that was put out by some dudes. I don't know who exactly it was that I knew who was sleeping with everybody, and I was dirty macking and play hate. So I went through the same thing. I'm like, damn, my mama sending me here to this school, so I don't the hood don't take me under. And most of these
Hmm.
dudes, they got parents got money and shit like that, and they
Hmm.
got a head start in life, but they own the nigga shit. Excuse my language, but they own the nigga
Hmm.
shit. So they gotta make your life feel some. They trying to make you feel some type of way, cause they mom and
Hmm.
daddy loved them enough and loved each other. So they trying to like basically status shame you. But go ahead,
Yeah.
my bad.
I completely understand. I get
Not
everything
knowing
you
you
said,
can
and
break.
it's it stems
No,
to where I'm
go
coming
ahead.
from with it though. It's like my depression is stemmed from being alone and being bullied. So like everybody depression comes from somewhere. I feel you know what I'm saying. Nobody's just out of nowhere. I'm depressed. Something happened to you in that aspect to get you to that point. So me being who I am, like I said earlier, I never had intentions to be a fucked up person. I was in the hood. I was surrounded by negativity all my life. But even through that, because it was negativity, I just chose to be alone. And it got to the point where I preferred to be alone. So as I got older in the years and I started becoming who I am, more people started grab. So at this point, when I'm younger, I had no friends. I was like by myself. Fast forward to adulthood, I got all these people around me, even though I don't really
Mm-hmm.
want them, but at the same time, what I'm trying to do is necessary. And it got to the point where I felt empty. Like my music was going. This is at this point is last year. My music going pretty good. I'm getting shows. I'm getting hella play. She's going dope. But at the same time of all this, like people are coming over my house every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm selling weed, so everybody want to smoke with me.
Oh,
Like I'm
allegedly,
out here. You know,
Hey,
allegedly.
don't
Oh,
worry.
this old stuff. So I ain't. But like at this point, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking my life should be dope. Like I'm making money, music going good. But at the same time, all I felt was alone. I would have people literally came to my house, didn't even call or let me know, just showed up, and it started getting annoying because it's like now y'all just taking my time. And like I said, I'm a person that got to the point where I prefer to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I have everything that I wanted, but I feel so empty and crowded, but I still feel alone. And like depression last year hit me like a fucking tidal wave. And it was like people would be at my house walking to my room, like, what's wrong, bro? And I'm like, I'm good, bro. Like I would literally just sit there doing nothing. Phone would be there, I have a game, I have TV, like I have stuff, but I would do nothing. And I would just be in my head for hours and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I mean, I knew it was depression, but like I didn't know how to stop this feeling, like what's causing this feeling. And it was until like I took the chance to take control of my life, and that's when I realized what was really missing. It was like, what I feel like a lot of people haven't realized yet. Like we're not young, but like as we get older, we're grown at a certain age, I feel like depression becomes an excuse because we know what we want out of our lives to be fulfilled, and it's upon us to go for those things. It's not upon us picking somebody to make our lives fulfilled. It's upon
Mm-hmm.
what make us feel fulfilled. And it started when I in January, not even January, I say December. I decided I'm gonna this was last December around close to this time. I had just became homeless 2 months before that. So I was like on this weird journey of finding myself. Like I had left my mom's, I was like, I'm gonna make it myself. Like I don't want to depend on anybody. And it was the aspect of me doing that made me as happy as I am today. I started getting heavier into my music and mixing. I found artists that I actually built contacts and relationships with, to where like I grew them to where they have their own careers. So like now I've started this whole thing of my community with starting a music scene, and like so many people have been like thanking me and like happy that somebody even took the initiative to do it, because like I said, I've never had an aspect to be a fucked up person. If I do something fucked up, it's because you made me get to that point. I come in every situation with kind hearted, but it wasn't until like I took the initiative to live for how I wanted to live and what I wanted to do. Like I'm not gonna act like the depression doesn't still hit from time to time. It's times where you still get that feeling where nobody can help you alone. And I learned to get myself out of it. Yeah, that's why I feel like as we get older and we understand ourselves better, we learn to fix it, and like not even necessarily fix it. We learn to control it. And depression is a thing, just like everything, like every other emotion. It's just about finding out what you want out of life and controlling your emotions. But
Nice.
yeah, it's my story.
Can I do a teaching moment with that? Do
Yes,
you mind?
you are very welcome to do a teacher moment.
Okay, so here's the thing about emotions. Emotions are called mental intense feelings, right? They're really your thoughts. Everything that we do
Hmm.
starts with a thought. You know, a thought is what it starts with, and if you put speech on it, then you've got words, right? But it started as a thought. And a thought is before you move, you think about it, you don't realize because it's just that quick. But I gotta go to the bathroom actually goes through your head before you actually get up and go to the bathroom. It's just so fast that because we think about 50,000 thoughts in a minute. Believe it or not, that's how fast the human brain thinks. So here's the deal. Your emotions are often based on your thought life. And basically what you exemplify is the truth that most people, even people my age, haven't discovered yet. If you don't like what you're thinking, if you don't like your life, change your thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty
Boom.
much it.
Yes.
If you don't like how you're living, then you need to change what you're thinking. If you don't like what you're saying, change what you're thinking. It all comes back to your thoughts. So you decided that,
Hmm.
hey, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I'm going to go on a discovery mission. I'm going to do sumo. And that means I'm going to be responsible for my own well-being. No one's going to be able to say that they got me here. I'm going to find out who I am, and I'm going to be happy with me. You
Yes.
proceeded to do
Yes.
exactly that. Now, here's the deal. When you said we have moments, those moments are called sadness. That's emotional, and that's when you check your thoughts. There's a thing that I teach my
Hmm.
basketball players. It's called self-talk, right? We don't realize we do it, but mentally we actually talk to ourselves. Some of us do it out
Yeah.
loud. LoOpy does it to the TV, so that's hilarious.
It be like that.
I quit. I quit doing, but no, I do it too. I quit. Like I not quit, but I like scroll
You
up
don't
on
talk to the
my.
Mine's
TV
only
when you play your
noticeable.
game.
Mine's only noticeable when I'm high.
Oh yeah, wait, no, you didn't see me talk to the TV. I talk to the TV. It's
Y'all
not
talk
even
to the
a
game. Yes, you do.
yeah.
But
See, I look. Mine's worse though. I talk in like a dramatic voice in my head, and like narrated in a dramatic voice, dead ass.
right,
Like
see, that's why I
then
have
he
a
goes
problem
to
with
the
all these
kitchen.
alter egos that they have because it's really just the voice in your head. All of it's you, and you're just giving it a name and
Hmm.
dressing it up and calling it alter ego. It's you. Stop it. Stop it
Yep.
with the madness. It's you. It's not somebody else in your head. It's just you. And if you try
Hmm.
to make it somebody else, then you're crazy. That's called a split personality. And if you're
Mm,
psycho, I don't
Mm.
want to listen to your music because it might get on me. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, going back to what you said, that's exactly it. When you use self-talk to talk to yourself out of it, you said I snap myself out of it. I go there, but you basically talk yourself out of being depressed and back into
Yep.
being, focusing on what you should be focusing on. Again, that's a
Yes.
most people don't even have, right?
I've realized that honestly, and I've been trying to oddly teach my mom as well, but like I don't. I feel like she's too old and stuck in her ways to even listen. And it's like I've realized that a lot of people haven't really got to that point yet, and I didn't realize that I've gotten there so early till this year.
It's
And it's something that I've been trying to help people in my area and generation figure out themselves.
Now that's the one thing I can say that Loopy excels at. She analyzes herself to the nth degree, to the point where
Hmm.
she knows who she is at a young age, much more than
Hmm.
I did. And I always tell her that you amaze me with that you know exactly who you are. When I was her age,
Yeah. A
no,
lot of people say the same thing. It's so weird
It's so
to
bad.
like have that.
Bad sumo though. It's bad. Because you wanna know why it's bad? Because you
Why?
analyze you don't just analyze yourself. You analyze everybody you talk to. So you have to
Oh
be
yeah.
like, is talking to you going to make me work too hard? And is me working that hard worth talking
See,
to you?
see, that I had to learn how to control that because
right.
I come into contact with so many people in my life that everybody like I said, I never have a bad intention with anybody I meet. My whole thing is to build everybody that I meet because like your mom said, I figured it out at a younger age than a lot of people. So what I do is I use it through music and I offer my helping hand to people, and with their help, I ask for two things. I ask for your trust, meaning that you can completely trust me, and that you're willing to put in the work. If I don't feel the trust or I don't see the work being put in, then I know that my time is being wasted, so I don't give it any. So it's like that's the ugly
mm,
part about life. You meet people, and some people you feel are not worth your time, but it's not true because some people can change. Some people just don't realize it yet.
Or they don't know who
I
they are.
honestly
So
feel,
how can you possibly
yeah,
analyze
exactly.
if they don't even know where they're at? Right?
Hmm.
And that's really the reality. I think that what
And
Luke is gonna have to find in one day is balance. And that balance is
Hmm.
she's going to analyze, but she's going to leave open interpretation that there are some things that she can't control. The things that
You
I can't
can't be
control.
mad at people that don't understand, man. I had to learn it myself because I got friends around me right now that people they tell me like, why you even hang out with this person? It's like, I feel where you coming from, but I see what they can be, and I'm not gonna give up on them.
Hmm.
Exactly.
And because of that, like I build strong relationships.
And not too many. And
Not,
It's not even about. Oh, give me a second, Killzone. It's not even a. She said it's because I don't want to work.
I was
It's.
teasing.
I know you was teasing, but it ain't about the work. It's about being overwhelmed. First of all, I'm a lot.
I knew
I'm
it.
expensive. Like to me, like I do too much. Sometimes I can't even mess with myself. I'll just be like, go away. We're not talking. Okay, so I have me, so I overwhelm myself with me. I can't pick at too many other people because then I'm
Man, you good.
overwhelmed
You just extra. That's all it is.
She's a little extra. And she always called me dramatic. She
with them. I
extra.
wonder where I get it from.
I have no idea.
Killzone, what was
It
you
be
about to
like that.
I was gonna say I kind of feel that sentiment, and I don't like giving up on people. Like, but that's how the way of the world is. Like, they don't. If
Oh
it's
yeah.
not, people are very, very selfish. So it's like, if it ain't
Mhm.
working, then I go, keep it going.
That's
And
why
then
you. That's
sometimes,
why. See, with that kills on, I learned something else in the aspect of like if someone's gonna be in my life and I don't necessarily like how they are or like how they move, I work around it. So like if you're gonna act like a child, I'll treat you like a child, but it's gonna still be love at the end of the day. But
hmm
like also like not everybody's some people selfish. So that's why like sometimes those people got to be punished in ways that they don't understand. But as they get older and they're around you enough and they start opening their eyes, they change. They realize that okay, I need the man to fuck up. I got to grow the fuck up. I can't because like I got people my age that still that do shit dumber than my little brother, but at the same time I understand. And I think that's the whole point of a lot of things that people don't realize is building their understanding. It's not to be mad at that person, it's to really feel bad for them because they don't even realize how stupid they being in that moment.
Now, and I gotta say, I agree totally with you with there, but I gotta say that the first method, I think the first wise thing to do is when you meet someone is to determine what they are, what season they are in your life.
Hmm.
'Cause some people are reasoned people, some people are seasoned people, and some people are
Yes.
lifetime people,
Ooh,
right? And so
you
you got
preaching the rightness.
that's it. Because if you're a reasoned person, but I invest a lifetime of effort into, well, you're only supposed to be there for one reason, to teach me something or to learn something from me, and that's it. But I make the mistake of
Hmm.
thinking you're a lifetime person, then I'm going to be severely disappointed. And at the same
hmm
time,
Yeah.
you may be a seasoned person. Like in my life, you're here not only for me to teach you something, but to learn something from you, from us to support one another or to help us grow to a certain level. But it's only for that season. If I invest or if I treat you like you're just a reason person and then walk away too soon, then I'm going to end this association before it was
Hmm.
time. And then I'm not going to get out of it what I was supposed to. You're not going to get out of it what you were supposed to.
The best way to go about that is well the one way that I figured it out. There's two type of people I feel in this world. There's the person that's open minded and want to learn as much as they can. It's the person that think they know everything. I can't build a relationship with a person that think they can't learn something. Cause my whole aspect of going to any relationship with anybody, friendship, anything is I'm trying to learn and grow from this. So if you feel like you are already good when you meet me, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. We ain't got nothing to discuss. It's high and
I
by
get
at
what
that
you
point.
saying, Sumo,
Eh,
but I like to challenge it though, because if we're gonna learn and grow together, I'm not just gonna accept that. Oh, okay, let me convert. Let me convert.
If you're
Like
not
I
open
argue
to
because I
growing or
argue.
learning,
Give me a
no,
second.
I'm
Give
cool
me
with
a second.
arguing.
I argue and
Okay.
I debate because I need you to make it make sense to me. Like you have to
Hmm.
if it don't logically does not compute. If it's not logical and it don't work for me, then I can't do it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go back and forth on it until you say something where it clicks.
See,
So
that's not what I mean. That's not what I'm talking. I completely agree with that. That's the aspect of you're willing to learn. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the people that are mindset is you tell them, yo, this is what happened. They're like, no, no, you don't understand. This what happened. And like it's clear as day that this is what's happening. But in their head, they think that is this, and they're not willing to accept the truth. They're gonna just go with what they feel. There's somebody who's not willing to open their mind and learn, and I can't deal with it.
Well, see, the
Like
problem,
it's
truth
different if
is,
you're willing to come to some kind of understanding, but when you just assume that you're right in the situation without, like, five people can be telling you that you're wrong, but because you feel like you're right is right, like that's not how it works.
well, and I got to tell you, now there are some things that I am immovable on. And one of them is my faith. You could try to throw evolution at me all day long, and I will still tell you that it's still called the theory of evolution when you get through. And a theory means is that this is what we think happened because none of us was there. That's what
Hmm.
I mean. When you get
Man, see, that's a whole different subject right there, because I feel like
but
everybody needs something to believe in anyway.
right, okay,
So
so
I don't even.
there's some things that you're going to accept that are some things that are people unmovable on. So we can agree that there are certain topics where some
Hmm.
people are going to be irrational, right? Despite the facts,
Exactly.
right? And then there
Yeah.
are some other things that truth is based on perception. I find it very difficult to believe a lot of what's told to me by the media. Even I don't even believe the weather reports nowadays. I got to see it to believe it
Hmm.
because to me, they're trying to
Honestly.
give us a perception that is what they want us to think. We live in a country where the propaganda has been so strong on the white man that every brown person, everybody from Native Americans to Latinos to black people, every brown race has been terrorized, has been conquested, has been, I mean, enslaved, I mean, killed off. I watched this thing on Netflix with John Leguizamo called Latin History for Morons. And of
Mhm.
course, me being a Latin history moron, I had to watch it to see what I was
Be
missing.
like that.
Be like that. But when I found out how the Latin ancestors were killed off by the millions in their own land.
Dang.
And I mean massacred, that they too underwent lynching. We just thought lynching
Whoa.
was something they did to black folks. They did it to Mexicans too. And when I went through this intense period of him making it funny, of course, but me realizing I don't really believe, but everybody's perception of the truth from my history, what they taught me in history
Hmm.
class, it's all a lie. But they'll tell me
Damn.
it was the truth. And they won't tell me that
Never
behind
looked at it
every
like
white hero in a civil war or a revolutionary war, that there was a Latin hero or that there was a black hero. But they told us the white man's name instead. And they put the black or
that.
Latin hero in the background. They don't tell you that there were Latin American generals in the American
Hello.
Revolutionary War. They don't tell you any of that.
what?
War.
What?
War. I had
Okay.
to say it Southern. I had to say it Southern. War.
I was like,
I'm
only
sorry.
Granny was born in Mississippi.
No offense to Memphis, Tennessee. that wasn't as southern as Memphis.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying. They didn't tell us a lot of these truths. So the truth that
Mm-hmm.
they gave us, coming back to the point, the truth that they gave us was merely perception. So the hard part of dealing with someone that we don't think is open-minded to the truth is we have to really determine is this in fact truth? And what are we basing this truth on? Is it fact? Because the truth of the matter is they told us a lot of facts that aren't right about our
Mm-hmm.
history.
And this is why my head hurts. This is why I like if like, especially if I'm talking to a guy and the guy wastes my time, it was like, all those headaches you gave me, you can go suck it all the way to Suckerville down to Suckerville Lane and
Loopy,
Suckerville Town.
you have to know that no relationship is a waste of time. You learn something from every experience.
Yes,
You just
but that could have been less thinking.
What?
It hurts.
Well, sometimes I'm gonna say this real quick as far as
You need so much.
that goes.
You need so much.
Is that sometimes if the person, this is the thing about it, if a person you Wait a minute. You were saying about hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute.
You lost yourself there?
We talking about
Yeah, you talking about in interracial relationships, or you talking about relationship
no,
period?
I'm
no.
just people in general. Like
Oh,
if I'm discussing with somebody about a
Who out here to
podcast,
race this relationship?
when did races come into this
oh
equation?
no, let her finish because I was out. That's why I got lost. I'm like, wait a minute, let me
They ain't that
backpedal real
nigga.
quick.
You
Okay.
was not listening. Get off Facebook, Killzone.
I'm
no,
not on.
no,
I'm not on there right now.
The
No,
white man.
no,
no.
hold on, wait a minute.
I
I was
understand
trying to
what you
get
were talking about, Hill Kill Zone. I get it,
yeah,
cause I
yeah.
was
I'm trying
talking
to see
about
what
white history.
context she talking about. What she
Yeah,
talking about as far as people being misleading in relationships. Are you talking about the interracial relationship, or are you talking about relationships in general? My bad.
no. So we were talking about truth, and Sumo was talking about how some people are not open-minded to the truth,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
him
yeah.
having to deal with those people. And I told him, I said, okay, so really, what is truth? Is the question. Because when I grew up in high school, they told us a whole lot of things that I thought was a
Stuff
truth
that's
in
not
history
true.
that wasn't.
Oh well, this
No,
ain't
I
that
got
deep,
that. I was
family.
trying to see where Loopy was
This is
coming from.
a
I said,
Oh,
normal
no, no,
truth.
no, no. Where I got that is I had said before. I said thinking. I said all that is too much thinking to be thinking about with any person, and then it's just like a waste of time. Like I don't want to be like. That's why when you, if it's a friend, and then that friend turn around and stab me in the back, it's like all that waste of time I thought on you.
Yeah,
Like ow, my head hurts.
but pause. If you've built that connection, you understand that friend and why they did that. That situation can still be fixed.
Yes,
It's just
I
about the way
mean,
you go about things.
and if you're gonna forgive them, now here's the thing about
that's a big one,
um,
Kill Zone. Forgiveness. It is.
Uh,
yeah,
I
Mm.
cause
just tend to ignore things. That's bad. It's
cause
very
you
bad.
got
I gotta work on
Me,
it.
you got yeah you got to work on it because you got to forgive people
You do.
when stuff happen or
see,
you know it
I'm
don't
so
go
oh,
the
what you
way
angry
say?
though. I get so angry. I don't, and I just, it's just like a
Check it
fire
though.
in my. I was like,
That goes in loopy. That goes into what I was saying earlier about you can't be mad at somebody that don't understand.
especially if you talking about we talk just to go back to the topic at hand about other races of people and about and
Like
that's a
how other
good
races getting this?
no because she was bring Mama James brought in the fact about people in school about uh white white folks
The white man.
you know and
the
no, I'm just
power
saying
that suppresses us
The
all.
Caucasian, yeah. Well, not even
Right.
suppressing. It's just that it's when you're in a position of power. I see exactly what she's talking about as far as perception. Cause she just made a good talking point, and that's brought us here. When you have a person that is the dominant uh force or the dominant
Hmm.
tribe, or they want to be that, then that's what they do. Like she's correct, and a lot of people in themselves feel like that they the best, and they are egotistical like that. So if you bring something to the table that challenges their sense of superiority over you, then they're going to try to find ways to manipulate you, and they're going to try to exploit any weakness that you have,
See
even if
that
that's
that's
being
that's that's another topic that I would love to talk about because
yeah,
I'm
that's a
I'm
whole
I'm
nother
actually
topic.
living there right now. But like that's the thing. Like it all goes into the type of person it is. Cause
Hmm.
like I've said earlier in this West night, my whole thing of going to anything, I never have a bad intention. I don't have those unless you push me to that point. So it's like right now where I'm in a power position with what I do for my city or whatever, and like I have people that I work with. And like I said, everybody I work with, I build an actual emotional connection to them. So sometimes I have situations where they get the big head to feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's supposed to be this when this right here, rather than like when I tell people I don't have a bad intention, my whole thing is there's a plan, there's a whole thing. Wait, there's a reason stuff is moving, and that's because how I'm thinking, how I'm trying to choreograph things. Because nobody else wants to do this shit, and that's a big ass. responsibility. So when it gets to the point where when you question my judgment, it gets like the trust issue that comes to the board, because like I told y'all earlier, the first thing I asked you to do is to trust me. So if you can't trust me, then there's not much that I can do for you. Meaning that
I had
I can just disappear and cut off and act like this whole thing never happens. And I know that will hurt you way more than it'll hurt me. So it's like, and then kind of go into the manipulation thing with the whole thing of having power. But it, like I said, it's all about the person. Cause I could do some real fucked up shit, but that's not in my mindset to do that type of shit. So that's why it really comes down to the type of person. And that, his mom said with the whole thing with the people with that shit they taught us in schools. Those people were in power, so they gave you the story that they wanted rather than
Right.
what was the truth. And
Exactly.
I don't have them. I don't. That's not my mentality. Like, you're in power for a reason. That means to use it to the best of your ability to make the best that you can happen. It's just all about how you go about it.
What you, in other words, to whom much is given, much is required.
Yes.
It's the way that I would describe that from a Christian mindset, because it really is. But on the other mindset, what we have often happen is power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So
Hmm.
that's another truth on the other scale that we're dealing with. But I would ask you, Sumo, what do you think is the motive or the intent of those that are questioning you? Do you think that they do trust you, but their motive is to question you to get an upper hand? Or do you think they really just don't understand or have been misled by somebody else who's undermining you? What do you think is truly?
See, and what you just did right there is you named off a few of the situations.
Mm,
Because that's what it really comes to. Is a lot of situations you got to realize you're not going to be able to control, and that's when
exactly.
it comes down to the trust aspect. Do this person trust you enough to not listen to somebody outside telling them some bullshit? Does this person trust you enough to know that you have the best intents for them to be waiting for a minute?
Right.
It's like a lot of, because when you're in a position of power, people think that that is the worst position ever. I hate it, but I love it at the same time because it gives me the option to give opportunities to people. But at the
Right.
same time, you have some of the people you mess with that everybody assumes that you're supposed to mess with them when they want you to. And when that don't happen, that's when the trust issue comes into effect. When they don't feel like, oh, this dude don't fuck with me, and that's when I feel like, okay, since you think I don't fuck with you, that means that you don't trust me, and that's when I become an ass. But like I said, I don't have bad intentions, so I handled it in the aspect of in the aspects of what I do. So I say it all comes down to the type of mindset a person has. So if it wasn't me, it would be a completely, like, let's say a friend of mine, like, this is completely not related to nothing. Let's say a friend of mine, he was in my crew. Then somebody outside of my crew didn't like me, and they were cool with him, so they'll say, "Yo, Sumo using you. You don't need to be like you so much better. You can do so much better without him." So
Mm-hmm.
in your mindset, okay, this the person I grew up with. I'm gonna listen to him. And then boom, shit stopped happening for you. You know why? Because you didn't trust. And then you start feeling like a dumbass because the person who gave you all these advices isn't giving you helping you no kind of way expand what you doing in life. But
Mm-hmm.
because you chose your good, what you thought that your friend did, you lost the opportunity.
And
Do
you know
I
why?
lose in that situation? No.
You know why?
Why his friend? Cause
Because they're a hater. And see, that's why I told Mickey I was gonna write a book called The Hater's Prayer.
Best friend James always telling me, he be like, "Don't be a hater, Gator."
They're haters. And
I
secretly,
found out later why, and I explained to him why, because
mhm,
he still didn't really understand. But what he had to realize is that as we get older and you go into a certain field of business, you have to be able to separate friendship and business, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people aren't able to do that,
because the
and
first
that's what
question
he
I
had to realize.
is, where did that friend that's telling you all talking all this noise get you before I came along? Now, if they were
Mm,
the key to your success prior to me coming along, then all I can do is step back and say, y'all need to handle it. But if they are
exactly.
the key to you getting getting to where you're supposed to be, and I've gotten you further than they ever have, then why are you listening to them? And what is
Mm-hmm.
their
Boom.
motive in trying to cut you off from future success? So I'm gonna
Mm.
leave you there. I'm gonna leave that with you, and then you can call me
Mm.
later and let me know what your answer is. But you need to look back and tell me in your life where this friend has been responsible for you being successful. And 9 times out of 10, they're gonna come back with nothing. That's the
You
friend
Or
that's
it
see,
could
it's
always
even be
talking.
true.
people that's gonna come into your life as you start progressing. Like they gonna come in, and I've had
Hmm.
people feel like that they was God over my situation, and I've let people. I ain't gonna say
Man,
let. I made choices based upon these people because they might be just a little bit more successful, or even if they
yes.
highly successful doing what they doing. You know, you gotta look at it like people are going to project what they want or what they can't do or what they want
Hmm.
you to do on you.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't about what you trying to get accomplished. Damn that people are out here trying to come to you. You know, it works both ways. You got people that want a bandwagon, and then you got people that want to redefine or redirect you for their own personal gain, and they don't
Benefit.
necessarily,
Yep.
yeah. So they don't necessarily care about the fallout as long as what they are trying to accomplish gets done. So I just said, as far as this business, like ain't no
With
friends
that,
in business. It's
I
all.
won't, I'm not. No, that's not true at all. Because nothing happens by yourself. Nothing. You don't build a company. You don't build a brand. You don't do nothing by yourself.
No,
But
I'm
what
saying
I had to learn with that mindset. No, what you're saying is right. I'm not saying no. Because with a lot of that, what you're saying happened to me last year with the aspect of like, it was two different people in my music scene that were doing big things, and because I had a voice, I tried to help guide them or like give them encouragement here and there to try to better things, but they felt like they knew what they were doing, and it took it to me realizing that as a man, if you have a vision, you got to get out here and make it happen yourself. It's not up to the next person. It's not up to your best friend to make it happen. It's up to you to make, because nobody's gonna make your vision happen like you. And I
ain't
had to
nobody gonna
realize that
care about it.
myself in business.
Yeah,
Exactly. Nobody's gonna put the time and effort into what you want to happen, but you. And when I realized that, I ended up having so many different people follow me because they saw the vision and they saw that it was something that can be real and something that can change things. So it's like nothing happens by yourself. It's just about finding like-minded people and finding people that actually
care
like
about your
want to
vision.
see.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like you gotta make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people that's on the same mission or that want to see you win. But when people start trying to tell you that's the thing. Like you gotta have in this game, you gotta have a gift of discernment and have patience. And it,
Hmm.
where I'm at now, it's like besides like LoOpy, it's very few people that had the same vision and goals that that I have. So it
Hmm.
might be time and maybe time for Luke. I don't know. Like for us to branch out and leave, like because it's hard. That's the hardest thing to do is find folks in the city because everybody is like has this survivalist mentality,
Hmm.
and so nobody's trying to really even come together and do this. That's
See,
why
you think that until
But
you
no,
really get out there.
in the land that we work in, if you're referring to podcasting, that's the beauty of it. You're not limited by your city. You're not even limited
Mhm.
by your country. You're only limited by your mind.
Mhm.
If you reach
Mm.
out
Tell them.
and build with other people that are outside of your environment, like I'm doing with Sumo right here from Memphis. We're
Man,
all from St. Louis. He's from Memphis. So you just gotta find like-minded people not around you. And
Oh
just
yeah, no, I mean, I got people
no,
different
not even
cities.
that. Cause even me, I was that guy who when I started music, I was like, no, my city don't fuck with me, and like nobody in my city want to work together. It wasn't until like the vision that I had, and I actually like took the effort to like throw events and reach out to people and let people know that this is something that y'all can meet and like network and y'all can and like it grew. like I can say that over this year, what I put into perspective grew because I took the time and the consistency to put in. I found many people in my city that wants to like link and work together. It's just about taking time and effort and putting that consistency into making it happen. Because nothing happens overnight, and a lot of people need to get that through their head. Like, and I don't think a lot of people realize that, but literally nothing fucking happens overnight. But when you put in that work and you really believe in it, it happens. I promise you that.
What was you gonna
I'm
say?
a living, breathing.
Well, first I wanted to tell you guys that I think that it's excellent that you're coming together, even with this podcast adventure. But the truth of the matter is that everybody needs an inner circle. You're gonna have people
Hmm.
that you trust with your life, like Jesus did with the apostles.
Yes.
That
But
was a
even
mistake.
with the apostles, there were three specific ones that he went off to pray with. He didn't take nobody else but those three. So there's going to be your inner circle. Then there's going to be your circle, and then there's going to be your outer circle. To confuse those people is what causes your vision detriment. You don't want anybody close to you that's not feeding into your vision, and they can't see who you
Mm.
are. When Jesus said, "Who the man I am," Peter looked at him and said, "Well, you are the Christ, the Son of God." And he said, God built that revealed to you, pimp. So I tell you what, you walk with me. That made him part of the inner circle. He knew who Jesus really was. And you don't want nobody close to you that don't really know who you are. And whether they met you months ago
Hey.
or years and years and years ago, but that person that sees deep into your soul and that speaks into your life, you want them right there by your side. But those yes people, all them niggas that be like, yeah, man, that sounds great. Yeah, man, I'm with you. Yeah, man. And
Mm-mm.
man, that sounds stupid, man. I gonna tell you the truth.
Mama James, this may sound completely, and I want you to know I'm not trying to disrespect your faith or nothing, but like it's so funny that you say that, cause like the way I've been moving lately, like it's in a weird, like I said, nothing to disrespect your faith, but it's like I've been moving like Jesus, and like the people around me are like my apostles. Like it's just
It's
coming.
called leadership, sir. That's all it is. That's model leadership. So what you said is it's not a disrespect to the religion. You ain't saying I am Jesus and they are my apostles and thank you for the worship. You didn't do that.
Yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say. To
Yeah.
Mama James's point, like
Yo,
that's
yo, yo, yo. I gotta say something because y'all saying Mama James and this Mama Tay.
They can say whatever they
Mama
want to
Tay.
say. My kids
uh,
all
Hey, I saw your
uh,
last name was James. I just thought
oh
her
yeah,
last name
yeah,
was
yeah. My
James
bad.
too. My bad.
Yeah,
I
it
could
can
have
be
swore
Mama
it was.
James or Mama Tay. Just go ahead. I know we
Okay, okay. So well, we want to make sure we got the right designation. So when
I just
people
don't
listen
want
to
Lucy
all
to
this
kill me.
together,
Yeah, cause in the description I put Tay, so they don't know who they talking
oh,
about.
okay. So with Mama Tay, excuse me, with Mama Tay, uh, like I kind of agree with her because it's like well I agree with her and Sumo because when you looking at it,
Okay, I'm
it's
back.
about leadership and good leadership. You're gonna have everybody playing their role and everything else like that. It's just it takes
Mm-hmm.
time to find those people. Like it took Jesus 33 years for God to be like, okay, this is who I want you. This is who gonna be with you. This is who gonna, well, I was no 30 years. My bad. It's gonna take 30 years. It took him 30 years to find the group of people that was gonna, be with him until his death. So it takes
Mm-hmm.
time to become. You had to become a leader. Like he was a child, manifesting, the
Man,
things that he was putting into. So it's like I had to remind myself as far as on the journey to try to be a boss or entrepreneur that you have to wait and you're gonna have different obstacles and things like it was said so many times that when he was growing up he could have died or got killed or got locked up, but he kept pressing on and I just feel like, with our journey, this group of people that's in this on this podcast right here, um, you know, everything happens for a reason, and this
oh,
is where we, been led to be at this point. Now tomorrow that might change, but right now, we are led to be here in fellowshipping. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no more to all y'all, because we gotta move on to the next segment.
Okay, what's next?
We went way off the track.
You know we do, so I don't even understand why you ain't playing for it.
Yeah, that's what makes a good show, Luke. You
I
can't like.
planned for it. I was being silly.
Okay.
It be like that.
Okay,
Nobody
Luke,
have my
what's
sense of
next?
humor.
What's
Okay.
next?
Yeah, because you govern the loopy. Like it ain't he ain't supposed to have no sense of humor, but
It's true.
that's the humor
We ain't
in it.
trying to get our head chopped off.
No.
Okay. So now we're gonna segue, move, dance, wiggle. Oh, don't judge me.
Slide.
All the way down to the play the game segment.
Okay.
Play the game segment. I titled this segment "Play the Game" because that's exactly what love is. If you deny it, if you won't play it, then chances are you probably going to end up by yourself. And to me, it's with that with any type of relationship. It's a free game. Love is the biggest game of all, or at least one of the biggest games. It
You
is
ain't lying.
exhausting.
It is exhausting. It's exhausting.
And so this week, and he came to me today. I was on social media, Facebook, and I follow this guy called Ace Metaphor, and I tend to agree with a lot of things he said, but like sometimes he say some shit, and I'd be like, sorry, Mama.
It's okay. Go ahead.
And and so they were basically he was talking about gender roles and women taking on what are supposed to be men gender roles. And he agreed that women should do it. Now, we've talked about partnerships and women paying for certain things and things along those lines. But he was like, should women plan and pay for dates? Heck yeah. And then he went into this whole rant about how he's a man and he's a person, not just a provider, and that he want to talk about love and he want hugs and this and this and this and this. And I was like, ain't you supposed to be talking about that with your girlfriend? Like, I understand that men need to be vulnerable with who they're with, but that's those are the key words: vulnerable with who you're with. And what a lot of people fail to realize or don't like anymore is men are a symbol of strength. They just are. It's a fact. You could like it, you could dislike it. I don't care how you feel about it. That's how I see it. It's not a fact. I mean, to me, it's a fact. That's my perception of it.
It's physically, a man has more muscle mass than a woman, right? So technically, they are the stronger gender. I don't give a care what they say. You can identify all you want, but if you have a penis, you're a male, and that indicates, I don't care how you think you are, but that indicates that you have probably about 40% more muscle mass than a female, right?
Turn up.
I'm not talking about women that are anomalies. You know, there are some people born hermaphrodites. They have both sexes, you know, and
Jamie Lee Curtis.
So one of them are cut off in the beginning of their lives, but then they still exhibit some traits of the other sex.
But who get the choice to choose which one they be though?
Parents choose.
Usually the parents choose a gender, which is often
that ain't their choice though.
And a mistake.
Oh my God, we're not derailing because I'm trying not to forget what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so the point is that men are saying this young man was saying, I saw his post about I am not a provider, which broke my heart really, because anybody that's a parent ought to be a provider. If we're talking about a relationship, then both of you are providers in that relationship. I think when we get into a contest in the relationship of who does what, you get into trouble.
Yeah, but see, to me, a man is a symbol of strength. That's what you are in a relationship. You're the symbol and you're the visual of strength. Whether you have a woman behind you helping keep you up or not, that is, I mean, who's supposed to, in our minds, who is supposed to be the one to protect?
Okay,
the men. So I'm like, he's like, I'm not a provider, and I was like, that's what the whole marriage thing was based off of. It was like, here, take my daughter and provide for her.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even feel like a man if I can't provide for my family. Like this,
Exactly.
I thought that was the whole aspect of being a man is to be able to provide
But hold up,
for
let me
your
say this
family.
real quick. If you got, this is the thing, you got certain like, if we look at like, let me think of something. We look at different men that are in that they are a provider, but it may not be as far as being a hunter and gatherer. Some men are tacticians. You know, you got people that are generals that sit behind, sit in the fort or sit in the base far away from the action, and they decide, who goes and who stays to fight the battle.
Man, what they got to
They
do with providing for your
now
family?
hold on. So let me flip that into providing for the family. You got some men out here that are tacticians. Like they may not go to work physically every day, right? They might not be going out the door. They might run a business with their wife. Like they wife is like the breadwinner. Like that's their idea. But the husband, he is the one managing and operating the business. He is the one he is the one that's upholding it and expanding it and growing it. And he's not necessarily going out there. Uh he's not creating the product, but he's moving the product in the same way as like
It's called a partnership. But I mean, we're not
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
but
that though.
no, I mean, but I'm saying but still, he's not directly being the provider. The woman is being the provider. He's being a facilitator, but he's provide. I mean, and it's still
How is he
prevalent.
not? Is he bringing something to the table?
Yeah, but he's
And
not
he's
the bread. He's
providing.
not.
I
But
don't
hold up,
understand.
he's
Hold
not
on,
the
wait, hold on.
breadwinner
But
though.
what's he
That's the
Wait,
bringing to the
wait,
thing.
wait,
table though?
wait. Mama
I
Tay,
know I'm
please make this.
confused.
No, no, no. I need Mama Tay to make it sense. She gonna make sense of this.
I get what you're saying. So Joyce Meyer and Dave Meyer have a ministry in St. Louis, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Joyce Meyer is the one that goes out speaking and doing all the engagement. She does the tapes and the books and all of that, right? But Dave is the one who runs the operation side, and you don't see him in the background,
Mm-hmm.
right? So basically, you don't really see him as the money maker because Joyce Meyer is the one that's making the tapes and the books and all that stuff. But Dave still serves an integral part of the ministry because he makes sure that everything is operating the way it's supposed to. Employees are paid, the right people are hired, things of that nature. I
Mm-hmm.
get it.
So she's the face, and he does, and he
So,
arranges.
but her
But
face
she
is
is
what's
the
bringing in the
breadwinner.
money.
There is no
So he
Joyce
thinks,
Meyer
right?
But
Ministries
it's a
without.
partnership. It's a partnership.
Yeah,
No,
We're
no, no,
we're
no. But
just
she
that's
started the
cool.
ministry. She was the breadwinner, the hunter gatherer
That
not
in the
don't mean
before she
nothing.
was married. She wasn't.
So,
well,
so the truth of the matter is, what
Kill,
Luke
hold on. I
is
think I
saying,
think I can explain this better.
right?
Hold on, kills all this. You gotta understand, man. You ain't got like the man does not have to be the person that makes the most money in the house. As long as you're contributing and keeping the house running,
the
you're
way it's supposed
providing.
to be.
But
That's
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 what
yeah,
Killzone is saying. That's
yeah,
exactly his point.
yeah. So
Uh,
he's saying
So,
what I think that's what Ace was trying to say,
yeah.
but he I think he did it on purpose to get people to have people be
Yeah,
doing
he
stuff.
like to get in his feelings. Like he for real. Almost every time I watch him, I think he gonna break out and cry at any moment.
And that's the thing. Like some
you
brothers
will follow
again,
the sensitive ass line.
exactly, and that's why he doing it. It ain't necessarily he might not
And
even
then
You
be
when
over
he
here
in
be
his
like,
agreeing
feelings.
with this man?
"Oh,
That's
you
because
don't
he a
have to
Like
be the
female.
Drake,
That's why
provider."
it's like
he
Drake
a
ain't in his
female. That's
feelings.
what it is.
Hold on, wait a minute. He like Drake. He not in his feelings, but he gonna make you feel like he in his feelings, just so you can get up and dance to the
Killzone, where
beat.
are you? We can barely hear you.
Yeah, sound
I
like
know,
a
right? He
teacher
might
Hold
abroad.
on.
disappear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said he like Drake. He's gonna tell you he in his feelings, but he's not really in his feelings. Like he's
He gonna be
telling you
like,
the record.
"Loopy, do you love me?"
Now be
Okay,
like,
can't sing it. Can't
no,
sing
you're not a
it.
provider.
Okay.
And I'm
No,
joking.
that's so wrong. That's so wrong.
You petty,
He's so wrong.
Ah.
petty
It
bitch.
was funny though. It was
Yeah,
It
that
funny.
was
was.
funny. Yeah.
Okay, okay, but see, here's the correlation with this. The reason why I brought this to the table because there's a generational gap here. I will admit that. But Minister Louis, I can never pronounce
Farrakhan.
Farrakhan. Minister Louis Farrakhan is this video and I've seen it multiple times. And it basically discussed how he could never allow a woman to take care of him.
Yeah.
How even if she reaching for her pocket, he's like, nah, no. So I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle about it because I feel like men are more than just providers, but also to me there should be something. But see, we go all the way back to the beginning with the alpha male syndrome. Chances are, if you're with an alpha male, he's not going to let you pay for everything. It's just fact. He's not going to live off you. That's how
I
he'll
mean, bro,
build
that
it in.
whole
He'll
alpha
think of
male
it as
thing, bro.
living off of you.
I feel like, bro, it's 2018, bro. Why are you still
I'm
trying to
going
be the man? Like, just be
because
you.
gender roles exist.
That's what I look for, though.
Yes, gender roles exist for a reason.
I gotta be real with you. That's what I look for as a woman, because the truth of the matter is that we have to face and fight a
I'm
lot
be
of
honest with
odds.
you.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna sell yourself short looking for that, cause like those, and I'm talking from a guy's perspective. Those type of guys, what you don't realize is this what you're looking for, but those are the guys that's gonna look down on you the most, cause they feel like because they're the man,
But see, that's not
that
all we're looking
regardless.
for. What we're saying is we're not. I have the last guy I was talking to. Man, I brought pizza. I would buy food. We went out. I have no problem doing it. No, I have no problem doing it at all.
That's a
But
profession. That's a profession of her love. That's what that was.
Yeah, I feel
it
Like
is. It
you like
it's
that.
not
shows.
that.
If
It's
I
not me. It's not. I mean, it's not. It's not her saying, "Oh, I'm finna be the provider." Like she's not a subscriber to the feminist movement.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
But to explain further, Sumo, the thing about it is that my dad, and remember, women, their first love is really their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
And a girl is going to grow up falling in love with the aspect of the male that her father represents. And a woman's
Ah,
ultimate desire and temptation is actually always to lead and take control, but she can't bear that weight. I'm going to tell you something very, very deep. When we talk a lot about faith. I'm going to take it all the way back to Genesis. When God said to the man, he said, I shall create a help for you. That word help is taken from the Greek word is parakletos, which means to support, to strengthen, and to uphold. Now, if I'm going to support you or I'm going to lead, but I can't do both. I can't hold you up and then still see the
hmm.
vision, right?
Oh
Somebody's
yeah,
got to be the
definitely.
visionary and somebody got to be the support. Both of us can't be the head, because then we'll be a two-headed monster going in different directions
And
at
this is
times.
why
No, I'm not
men
saying a
have one
man
track
should
mind. But
lead.
no, this is why men have one track minds because they have the vision and they ready, set, go
And they focus
on the vision.
And the woman
Women
is designed to watch their back, their
and
side,
multitask.
and their underneath. She's the support. She strengthens and upholds. Women are often tempted to tear down men with their mouth, which is the exact opposite of what they're supposed to do. Just build them up,
Talk about
right?
it.
So,
That's what I need in life right now. Some of that support shit y'all talk about.
but see, that's exactly it. This is what I'm saying.
That's why there are gender roles.
The reason that God made them that way is because that's how they work and plug and play interchangeably. You can't. Now, we can both support the household. We could both work outside the household. We could both bring money in, but we also have to take care of the house inside and rear the children. One person can't bear the weight of all of that. It's too much,
Hmm.
right? So that's the way that the unit is built. The problem, I think, is when we get gender roles into it, we now cause confusion with regard to that. Because the whole reason that, let me take you back to the story. So anyway, this woman, this help created for Adam. He said, I should create a help for you that's suitable. That's her job. But the temptation that caused him to fall was when she decided to make a decision for the family and he let her. She's not the visionary. She supports. But she said, yeah, I see this. I think this. But God, when God discussed the management, who was he talking to? The man.
Man, he
So
said
when,
you ain't have to. You didn't have to go down that road.
right.
You could have made your own
He could have
decision.
told her no. He was standing right behind her.
took a bite, and then turned and gave to her husband who was with her. So he was there the whole time.
He was supposed to be in charge.
At that moment, his temptation was to take
see, I ain't know that, bro. Hold on. That nigga Adam was a hoe.
You gotta read
He's
it.
still down on his job.
Yeah.
He's supposed to have a one-track mind, and he allowed the woman's new vision to distract him from the track that he was supposed to be on. We as women, we multitask. We're everywhere,
right?
But it is the person that has the one-track mind to stay focused on the goal that keeps us staying focused on the goal, and then we support. That's how
support and strengthen that partner. So now here's the problem. Now you
hold on, y'all just blew my mind, bro. Hold on, fool. Dang, Adam stupid as bro, no.
And the thing is that when you read about it, when Paul says is that Adam was not tricked. It said the woman was deceived. Adam was never deceived. He knew when he ate it what he was doing. See, she was tricked. He was not. Right?
He was just stupid.
He was not beguiled. So that's according to Paul. That's what he says. So here's the thing. Adam had to decide. Adam actually, believe it or not, was a type and shadow of the first Christ. He laid down his life for his wife. He had to decide at that moment when he did not take charge like he was supposed to die with her or to let her die by herself. Personally, I would have said, "Oh, you ate that fruit, I'm telling." And then when God be like, God can make me another one.
I ain't got nothing to do with that fool. I swear. I was like, I ain't got nothing to do with what she did, bro.
It wasn't me.
She got tricked, not me. I only do her for like one day, bro. I don't claim her.
Look, that was the one case that domestic violence was okay. Slap her hand down.
Just slap her hand. Slap the fruit out of her hand. Slap it out of her hand.
She wasn't supposed to pick from it. The moment she picked from it, it was over.
No, she didn't. God didn't never say that. God said, "If you shall eat."
Oh yeah, slap it out of her hand. Slap it out of her hand.
Now she's the one who added on to. All Adam told her was what God told him is what. No, Adam probably embellished on it because he didn't really want to get in trouble. So he said, "Don't even look at the tree, okay? Don't even look at it, right?" But the bottom line is God said, "If you eat it," and that was the rule. The moment she took a bite of it, that moment, and then she turned and gave it to her husband, and he had to make a decision. Either I'm going to die for her, or I'm going to live without her, or God can make me another one. I'm pretty sure. Whatever the case is, he chose to die for her.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the invention of ride or die right there.
Ride or die. But the minute check it. The minute he did it, he was sorry because as soon as he ate, he heard God coming and said, "Oh crap." And
it wasn't her. He didn't come.
Exactly. You got to deal with that, bro. He's so.
So he.
That irks me, bro.
Who did God go to first?
Him. He didn't even say her.
Him first.
Hey, partner.
What you do?
Hey, real stuff though. I always wondered that, bro. Because I'm like, Adam got in trouble for it, but she the one that ate it, and I never understood how that worked.
That's what he was the first. Adam was the first simp.
And it's cause, bro, it took me to become an adult to understand that he was supposed to be a man in this situation, and he was a whole support ass nigga. Damn,
so do you understand why I desire an alpha male?
Yeah.
See, that's different. Okay, now you put it like this.
His vision got to be on track.
And I get foolish. And I get emotional. And you can't let that distract you from where we going, Dad. Now, like, I'm going to do something stupid sometimes. You going to have to man up and say, that's stupid.
But he's going to do something stupid sometimes, too.
True.
Which is why you got to be there to support and push him and help
him
stay on track.
Or to bring him away from the stupidity. Because sometimes our men's pride, gets in the way. So you gotta be the one to be like, hey, you gotta be the one to say, hey, we not finna go there. Like,
But the truth of the matter is that a man needs respect and he needs honor. If he's getting that from a female, these women often wonder, beautiful, successful women find that their husbands are having affairs with women that are not what they feel are as beautiful, and they just don't get it. What they don't get is because they don't have any honor in their own home. So a man needs to be honored. He needs to be, that's why it says in the Bible, God commands a woman, honor your husband, because you're always going to be tempted not to. He gave you amount to build the man up, but you're gonna be tempted to do the opposite, which is tear him down because you want to be back in the garden making decisions.
And then he still make you want after him. What?
Yeah, that was her punishment. It was messed up. That was a messed up punishment. And you notice that when God was handing out consequences, he started with the man and worked his way down. What cracks me up is the way that the man answered God. When God said, "What have you done? Did you eat of the tree that I told you not to eat from?" He didn't say sorry, my bad, nothing. He said, "It was that woman you gave me." He blamed God.
He lost his ride or die card that quick.
He blamed God. He said it was that woman you gave.
That's because he can't. He got. That's the thing about
Man,
it.
hey, y'all can't be mad at that, man. He was like 1 day old, bro. He ain't know better.
No, there's no excuse. There's no excuse.
That was that woman you gave me.
God molded a fully functional adult brain.
I can't tell. I guess adult brains won't really make you that good.
Yeah,
That
he
man,
was pimping, dog. That was the whole thing with him.
that man didn't give
He
him
was
common
pimping.
sense. That's all it was. He had a brain. He just didn't have common sense
No,
yet.
he had common sense because God made us in His image.
Or he was weak.
Adam got a piece of poom poom and he lost his mind.
Well, he had
And
a moment.
Oh my God! It all does not go back to simping Killzone.
no,
It don't.
He lost. He got the thing about it is Adam
Hey,
ruled.
Loopy,
Hold on,
go look in
Adam.
the chat.
I saw.
Well, I'm saying Adam had he fell in love with Eve so hard because I think this is the first man and the first woman. He fell in love with her so hard, like, and that's the thing. Like God said, "Look, I have brought you a helpmate. I have brought you as y'all will govern this entire world. There were no other men and women around. Y'all are going to rule this, and I will rule over you. But you will rule it. You will be in my image. So then." Y'all are going, y'all are going to bring about the next generation of men. You are going to bring the first generation of men and the first generation of women, and then this world is going to be ruled by creatures that are in my image. So, with that being said, Adam fell hard. He was slipping on his pimping, and he fell hard
You was slipping on your pimping.
yeah, he was slipping on his because he had a purpose that he needed to fulfill. But in
He
that
ain't know,
purpose,
man.
no, he knew fair well because he said this that woman. He gonna put the shift the blame
Look,
to
hey,
the
look, but
woman.
like, think about it like this. You remember when we was kids and like the mama gave the person who was in charge the direction of what to
It's
do.
not the equivalent, Sumo. It's not
No,
the
yes it is.
equivalent.
Yes it is.
God
No, it's
was like,
not.
hey,
Yes,
fool,
Okay,
she
wait,
gonna
because
try
I want to
to.
hear the point. Go ahead.
go ahead.
God was like, hey, Adam, now look, fool, you in charge. Whatever you say goes. So don't let
Yes, he
her
did. He did
try.
say that.
He
He did
did.
say that
Hey, look, I
before
ain't read
he
the Bible,
made
so
But
don't
before
quote me on that.
but
before
no, he's
she
comparing them to children, and we're not children.
Well, they were God's children. So
yeah
go
we
ahead. What's
are
the
we
point?
are God's
Exactly,
children. Hold
God's
up.
children.
Hold up.
And look,
Okay,
they was literally like
I
a
want you
day
to
or
get to
two
the
old, man.
point. What are you saying? Because so God left them. Okay, because here's the deal. This
I'm
is what it
saying,
was. hmm
what's up?
Okay, first of
Okay, I
all,
was saying,
your
man,
assumption that it was the cootie cat. It was not the cootie cat, sir. It was that.
No, well, it wasn't even that.
Stop. Because that's been man's excuse from the beginning of time. Y'all always whipping the coochie. Like that's the only thing. And you know what? Y'all been whipping it good with just your hand and your 5 friends ever since y'all was 10 years old. So it's not the cootie cat.
12.
You can get it. You could get it. In fact, do you want to know where syphilis came from? It came from white people getting it from sheep.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So you
Mm,
could get it from anything that's not a female. It's not the ideal mate and it's going to end up killing you. But man could have got the cootie cat from anywhere. It's not the
Yeah.
cootie cat that made
I
him
know,
do that.
12 fucking sheep.
What made him do that
Yeah.
was at some point in the leadership role, a man gets tired. That's all
Oh.
it is. That there's
Yeah,
pressure being the leader. Understand that. There's pressure being the
right.
person that's expected to make all the decisions. That man had to sit there and name a whole world full of animals.
Mm-hmm.
He sat there and every animal God brought to him, he named. He had His job was a straight up
Man.
job. Okay, it wasn't something that was an easy thing to do.
Oh,
So
so Satan caught the
sometimes
nigga slipping while he was sitting there trying to rest. He was like, "Let me go whisper in the old girl ear
Yeah, he
while
did.
this
it,
He
nigga ain't
did
paying
sleep.
attention."
now see and keep in mind now there were times when Adam walked away in the garden where he walked with God, and the Word of God says that Adam walked with God and spoke with God. Where was the woman and where was the serpent?
Off to the side.
So would you say that the serpent had time to build a relationship with the woman without the man there?
Oh, so
Oh,
it's yeah. Oh, okay.
so
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 All this telling me though
what?
is vagina is the devil.
It's not.
The
well,
devil.
I
no,
just proved the point that it's not,
well,
Sumo.
hold up, because like, but it
I
goes back.
just proved the
It
point
goes.
that it is not.
It goes back.
Wait,
Hold
wait,
up.
wait,
It
wait.
goes back to
Sumo,
what
are
she
you
was
saying
saying.
that booty
So,
hole looks more appealing now?
Ew.
come
Ew.
Is that what
on,
you're saying? All right
man.
then. All
No.
right.
Okay. What were you saying, Killzone?
I was gonna say that, like you said earlier, he had to make a choice, and I feel like his love. I'm not when I say I meant to say that when people say that pussy is the downfall, it's more so his, like you said earlier, it was his love for his wife. It's not necessarily the sex part. It's the
Okay.
fact that he wanted to have, like you said, you made a very good distinction. We
Man,
say
he
that
knew
in
her for like
plain.
2 weeks,
He chose to
man.
die for his life. But wait, the question is, where was he? Where was the
He was
decision
not
making
around.
ability him to be the leader the moment that she took the fruit in her hand or the moment she
Yeah,
began to listen to the
because
serpent? At any point, he could have stepped forward and say, "Hey, we're not listening to this madness," because he was there. He
you're
could
right.
have took
Man
her
was
hand and walked
tired,
her
bro.
You're
away.
He
right.
just finished
Why
naming
didn't
like
he?
3 million animals.
Yeah,
Why
but
didn't
even
he?
He was
still,
sleepy, bro.
he gotta have men, and men are guilty of this to this day because of that. Is that sometimes we have to make, like Lucy said, we have to make sure that we are being the rational person, the person using our brains. And when sometimes we don't know if he did let it slide or it was so quick that he had to make a
No,
decision
it
in the.
wasn't so quick. It wasn't so quick.
No.
She was
I'm talking
making
about
the
when
serpent
she
had
took.
Wait,
time
wait,
to
I
wait,
want to
wait,
hear
talk.
this
wait.
skills out. Hold on.
No, no.
He
I
had
want to hear
Whether
how
it was
dumb this
quick or
nigga
not.
was.
No,
Hold on.
Sumo, let
Because
me
he
say
it
this.
says in
Whether
there that
it
he
was
was
quick
asleep.
or not, he knew what was supposed to not happen.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Yeah,
whether it was fast or whether it was not fast, there was one rule: do
he had a
not eat
choice,
from this
but
tree. So
he
you
still
know
had
what
to
the
make a
rule
choice
is.
though.
You know you in charge. Quick or not, you cut it off right
Yeah,
there.
but
so,
it was
and
Hey,
I'm
very.
not
you
putting
know,
all of the weight on him. I'm not saying it's all his fault. She was deceived. Yes, she was. But here's the point. The point is that the serpent had time to question her and give her
Yeah.
doubt. He says, "So, about that tree in the middle, uh, what's going on with that?" And she said, "Well, God said that we can eat every tree except for that one. Now, every tree in the garden was good for food, but he said, oh, well, why not that one?" She said, "Well, if we eat it, even touch it, we shall surely die." Now, the truth is that if you eat it, you shall surely die, not touch it. But she said, if we even touch it, and he said, "Well, would you really die?" Now, this is a discussion where he's got time to plant doubt into her
Mm,
psyche. Every tree was
hmm
good for food, but he wanted her focused on that tree, the
hey,
one that she couldn't have.
can we pause for a second? You know what's weird as hell about this story that I'm hearing as an adult is
But
that in a way I'm kind of going through this right now.
what do you mean?
Not saying that I'm God and no expectations, but
I know
it's
that
the
you're not.
aspect of like if I set a rule in effect and then somebody just breaks it in my camp and it's like, why did you do that? Even though it's clear as day, then and then it makes you really wonder like like are you really that fucking dense? Like was it that serious? And then like you go back to the story and you really pay attention is like the whole aspect of like they had time to put doubts in her head. So okay, now she's already in
You're
the
exactly
mindset of
right.
changing. You she already and so this guy over here who ain't even talked to the snake, just like earlier when I was like my homie who literally has no clue. Like me and him, we good. We got a whole good situation going. But his friend over here, aka his wife, here and
AKA
all
the
this other.
snake.
So
AKA the snake. You can say
so
Nah,
and
that's
then
a
it's like
no.
it's
We
so ugly
gotta.
because like you look at it's like they gonna automatic like okay put it in this scenario we're emotional we're humans so the guy not think that in a way he had like this weird connection to his wife to where even though even she was wrong because he trusted her and she had doubts so she was already messed up and he didn't even notice but because he trusted her as his wife he chose to do something stupid.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
that's what I was
Anybody ever
gonna
no,
think
say.
that?
stop,
That's
stop.
the part.
Here's the deal. He didn't. It wasn't about trust. He knew when he
Oh yeah, he
ate it
did
what he
know.
was
Yeah,
doing. It
it
wasn't
wasn't
about
like he got
trusting her.
misled.
He
Like he didn't know.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like she ate the whole thing and then he just woke up and she was like, yeah.
Bro, you
So
know the worst part? It ain't even no understand. Like it ain't even an understanding part because he understood what it was. He just did it because he dumb, and that's how
no, it
everybody.
ain't
Bro,
even
I know
about his.
like
no,
thought.
no, no, no.
Ooh,
Hey, hey,
hold
That's
on,
his
I'm
hey,
mad
way
as
though.
no,
fuck.
no.
Hey,
I'm banging my
no,
hammer.
bro,
Banging my hammer.
There's a
All right.
gavel.
no, cause
Yeah, the gavel.
this just dog. Y'all understand? Y'all just open my eyes to some shit, bro. Cause it's like I always wonder like why people do dumb shit, and like they've been doing it literally since the beginning of time. It was no reason. Just
Okay,
literally
Sumo,
did something dumb.
give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, so here's to me what is the importance of the story for on the woman's end and male's and men's end. So in my eyes, to me that says if you are a man, if you are a man with a vision, if you are a man with a vision and responsibilities, you have to be very careful who you pick as your
Hmm.
support.
Yes.
And the reason why you have to be careful is because while you're walking away handling business, she got to be able to still have her mind right.
Yes.
And she got
Mm.
if there are doubts, she got to be able to be like she got to speak those doubts with you. Not saying that she should push her doubts onto
Ooh,
you. She
yeah.
has to discuss them with you so that y'all can squash them. You have to be careful who you choose to build with.
True. And they have to know their power and their ability. So this woman had the power.
Mhm.
See, here's the deal. This is what makes it so bass backwards, okay? It said, God said, I shall give you dominion over all of the earth, and you shall rule over it. Okay, dominion means to bring under authority, right? And to keep under
Mhm.
authority with your power, right? That's what
Oh,
dominion.
so he told him he was in charge.
You're in charge. Now that technically means that Adam and Eve, mankind, was also in charge of all of animal kind. And who is animal kind? The serpent in this, right?
Ooh,
So who flips the script and begins leading? The
the serpent.
serpent, right?
Dang.
So keep in
Don't that
mind.
This
sound like
snake.
white people though?
Stop it! Stop it! So keep in mind the plan.
The white man.
The plan of our enemy is always to flip the way God wants to do things or the order of God upside down. Right? So instead of man making decision, woman standing with man as he made the decision, and animal kind and the world following, the serpent made the decision, the woman followed after the serpent, and the man who was supposed to be first in the equation ended up being a follower. That is always the
And
enemy's
that's why we
plan.
all animals, y'all.
Well,
Always, it brought
Well,
always
some of
full
us are
circle. We animals,
animals.
bro.
as long
Full
as we
circle.
Well, no,
operate,
all of us are mammals.
as long as we operate with this part of us that's tied to this earth that ties us here, as long as we allow that to rule, because like I said, outside in, right? God has got an order. It's supposed to be man, woman, then animal kind, right? So now your body is, or you as a person, is a body that has a soul, and you have your spirit that has a soul that has a body. And that's the way it's supposed to operate. Spirit, soul, body. Spirit, aspect of God in you. Soul, mind, will, and emotions and intellect. Body, that physical thing that ties you to this earth. If your body makes decisions, I want sex, I want food, I want sex and food, I want sex and food together all the time until I die. And I don't care if I die. I don't care if I eat 1,000 donuts and I die. I want what I want. If that physical part, that's the animal that ties you to the earth, is what's making the decisions, you're operating out of order.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Because the body doesn't care. It wants what it wants, and it will kill you to get it. It doesn't matter if you die when you get it. That's why people are overweight. That's why people are alcoholics. That's why people are because the body wants what it wants. And once you feed it what it wants to keep getting what it wants, even if it's killing it. Right? But then you have the soul, the mind, will, the emotions, and the intellect. That part of you, when you're operating in that, you're operating above the animal, but you're not operating.
Wait. So are you saying that some
spirit.
people have dumb souls?
Mind, will, emotions, intellect. Yes.
Oh, so
Yep.
it's dumb because your soul is dumb.
You know, hey, on some real though, Mama Tay is literally saying some stuff that like I was just thinking about today, and like it's blowing my mind because like literally this morning, like I have a weight issue, but with the aspects of that, it's been my whole life. The thing is, this year I've got a real understanding of myself, and it made and like today I was just thinking, and like it came to the conclusion that I gotta stop letting my body control. Like my mind knows what's right, but for some reason I keep letting my body take control. And it was like today I had made the ideal that regardless of what the fuck my body say it want to do, like I gotta go in my mind because I know this was right. So even if I'm feeling lazy and I want to do this, I know what I'm supposed to fucking do, and I got to do. I ain't trying to curse, but like, yeah, she right. It's like if we let our body, because that's what we as kids we grow up with our body taking control because we don't understand. So it's like once we get to the point where we understand, we're so far gone that is we feel like there's no turning around,
But that's
and
the
that's not
part.
true.
But that's the point of the parent. What is the quote, Mama?
Which one?
Raise them up as they should go. Or something.
Raise your child in the way that they should go, and it's indicated gifting or bent, and when they are old, they won't depart from it.
It stems from the parent. It stems for the people that are supposed to guide you. For example, I have a little cousin. She's 14 now, and we've all been trying to help raise her due to dumb circumstances.
Okay.
Not going into that,
Oh.
but I noticed today when I called her that her belly, like she's growing, she's going to grow more. It looks like based off her parents. And I'm not saying she won't stretch out, but she's putting on weight. And I watch her. I notice all she does all day. I mean, she helps out around the house. She does everything she's supposed to do at school. She has after school activities. But on the weekend or when there's nothing else to do, what is she doing? She's in front of the TV eating.
Just for the purpose of
eating. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make a decision today. Like I need to be in the gym. I know she needs to be in the gym because she's young. I know she shouldn't be eating, but I can't control what she eats. What I can do is help her exercise. What do I have? I have a black card for Planet Fitness that allows me to take anybody as much as I want to with me.
Hey.
So what am I doing tomorrow? Who hates mornings? I do. What am I doing in the morning? Taking my little cousin to the gym to get her into get her in shape and get her into the habit of taking care of her body.
And again, now this is something
I wish somebody taught me that when I was younger.
I wish they had, because see, one thing that my daughter and I, she had gone through a period even as a child, but I told her a long time ago that this is a battle that you don't want to have, because I had it. At one point, I was over 356 pounds. I was still playing basketball, jacked up knees, but eating a whole box of Krispy Kreme donuts, right? I would ride out there, the hot side would be on. Yeah. I would eat the whole box.
Little me be like, ooh,
Krispy Kreme. We go out there at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now you know something is controlling you when you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive across town to North County just to get some freaking donuts.
Hey,
there's one horrible thing of being an adult. We can do whatever we want to do, even if it's ridiculous.
You know what though? You know what? I might have. Now that you say that, I might have seen you up there because my mama was going up there. I was telling LoOpy, a while ago that she was familiar, but now that you say that, it's all coming back to me.
Oh, what?
We went
ever.
up there every day, but I'm pretty sure because that Krispy Kreme in particular
In
is
North
Sumo,
County.
you keep going
In
in and out.
particular,
Yeah.
it's only a handful of them
Not
in St.
Sumo.
Louis.
Killzone.
So,
You keep going in and out.
oh, hold on, let me see here. What's going on with this? I charged it up now. All right, here we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that one in particular, I probably seen y'all up there, but yeah. Anyway,
My point is that my body was in control and it was making decisions that weren't the best decisions, even if it was going to kill me. So I had to make a decision, and I had to make a willful decision to determine what I wanted to see in my future. Because I told my girls at basketball, I asked them, I said, what does loving yourself mean? And they couldn't really say. I said, loving yourself means making decisions that future you will appreciate, right? Because you right now may not understand the impact of your decision, but future you gonna look back 10 years from now and go, you know what, that was really stupid, and I would have rather that you not done that, because I'm paying for it
preach.
now 10 years later, right? So loving you means making decisions now that future you will be happy that you made. And I had to ask my future me, do you want me to still go? What would happen if I still continue going? Well, then you will be on my 600-pound life. That wasn't even a movie then, a show then, but it was like, you will be over 600 pounds. And why would you want to even be here like that
mm-hmm.
with somebody taking care of you?
But that love thing goes all the way back to dying to yourself. So if you're loving yourself, you're dying to yourself
Today,
for yourself.
for tomorrow.
Exactly. You're sacrificing. And that actually leads us, that was perfect. High five, Mama K, because that guides us right into, does love exist? And why that's a dumb question. So I saw on
No,
Facebook in
I
one of
don't.
these relationship groups where she was like, do love really exist out there? And I'm like, don't you love your mama? Yes, love exists. That's why it's a dumb question to apply love only to a dating relationship.
No, she's
Like,
talking about. She should say, does true agape? No, what's the word? Not
does
agape.
love from a man truly
Just
exist?
romantic love.
That's a dumb.
Romantic love. Thank you, thank you, thank
Okay,
you. Because
yeah, I'll
agape
take
is
that.
from your parents. My bad.
That's
Anyway,
still a dumb question. You wanna know why?
for you.
Because yeah, it does. We see it
Well,
every day. We see it with people. We see it with couples on the street. We see it
but
with
we ain't
decisions that
talking
people
about.
We
make.
think we see it.
We talking about for yo. That's a valid question because for them, like my whole thing is if you're for a woman asking that question because they have a biological, y'all have a biological clock.
Ah,
It,
bullshit.
well, no, wait a minute, let me finish.
Nigga said biological clock.
It is. I mean, cause some, just
I ain't never
because
heard nobody use that in cities. I'm sorry.
it is a
Because all that has
biological
to do
clock,
with
and a
birthing
lot of
children,
women,
though. That's what biological clock
Yeah.
means.
So
yes,
it's not, the biological clock has nothing to do with
With
the
the
Hey, look,
fact
y'all
fact
don't
she
believe
was she has
y'all
not
don't
hold
she
love
has
because
on.
y'all
not
got a clock.
Let me finish.
experienced a man dying to himself for her, because that's what love is.
Yes, but I'm saying, well, I'm bringing it all into perspective here.
okay,
What
okay.
I'm saying is, that is a part of it because women are naturally nurturers. They want, and for them to be nurturers, they have to be nurtured. And like you said, Mama Tay said earlier, uh, women tend to want the love that their parents had. So if they, or the lack of thereof. So if they have, they want, women need to be loved the most because that energy is going to be passed down to the child, and the type of child that they end up having, if they don't have, like she said, she had to make that 180 turn for herself and and for her children. So if she didn't do that, her children wouldn't be as wise and as resilient as they are today. Wink, wink. So the thing about it is, when a woman says that she could be doing everything, that woman who said they could be doing everything right, she could have her stuff together, she could have everything together. She can have everything going for herself. She can have everything set up for herself. But if she's going to feel incomplete because she does not have that man to love her and nurture her. And I no, I'm for real.
I
No,
don't
you
think
was
that's how it
right.
works,
And then
man.
you took a left turn somewhere in
I don't,
Nowheresville,
I don't,
and we gotta
I
address
don't,
this
Nah, hold
stuff.
on, wait a minute, wait a
First
minute.
of
I don't
all,
think that's how
no,
it
no, no,
goes.
no,
If she
no,
hasn't
no,
found the
no. You had
love,
your opportunity.
Let him finish his point though, man.
no, for,
Okay,
What
for
was
her
that?
to
so
say that she
5
has not
seconds,
found
go.
5 seconds.
she, I'm saying, for her to say that she has not found the love that she is seeking, so she does not believe that that it exists. Excuse me for me and Mr. Longwind.
Okay, but we got your point. Got it. Okay, Loopy, say what you're gonna say, then it's me. Go.
Okay, so you took, like I said, you took a left turn in Nowheresville because first of all, if you got God, you never really incomplete.
True.
It's simply a temporary feeling, and you need to go find Jesus again and have a discussion. So it goes God, family, friends, and all the other stuff, whatever. So if it's God and family first, then if a woman does not have the man, then she still has God, and the man is not a replacement for God. The man, like I said, is in the line beneath God. There's only one thing
The
that you
white
really,
man.
really, really need, and that's God. He's the overall. So
Yes.
she's not incomplete without a man. She may not even be destined to be with a man.
I believe that.
She
Hey,
is
I got to dip in
simply
about 10 minutes. I want to let y'all know right quick.
okay.
Okay. So
She's that's all I had to say. You took a left turn and say she incomplete without the men, but like, yeah,
Her
don't be
okay.
her flesh is telling her that she's incomplete without the man. Let me
Okay.
preface it that it's
Okay.
not. We know how it should be in the natural order of things, or in a person that is in the faith. But we don't know if this woman even knows God.
Okay.
This is a
Okay.
Facebook.
Okay. So
person.
let's stop. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but I want Sumo to get what he got to get in before he has to go too.
Go
So
ahead.
here's the deal. Okay. First, a man's role is never to nurture. He's not a nurturer. That's not his point. A man's job is to nurture. Nurture and love are two different things. Laying down your life for is very different from feeding and nurturing to grow. Okay, they're two different things. That's why women have breasts and men don't.
I
Women are
nurture
nurturing.
like 10 people right now.
Right. So men, and I'll tell you the difference between the two. It's because even though my dad is actually the softy between him and my mom, right? My mom will still do what she needs to do in the background to make sure that I have everything I need, right? My dad will encourage me and say all the good words like you would think the woman is supposed to, but in the end, my dad is like, go get it. That's a father.
Yeah.
He's not going to give it to you. You gonna go get it. You gonna learn to get it because I created you to be a survivor
right
and I
there.
created you to be successful.
Yes.
So you're going to go get it. I'm not giving it to you. I made you to do it yourself. Now do it yourself because that man is a type and shadow of our Father God. Because God is also that way. When he told the children of Israel that he gave them a city, he didn't let them just walk into the city and everybody just hand thing over. What did he say? Go get it.
What about the children of Sodom?
Right? So the truth of the matter is the man is never really a nurturer. Here's the deal. Now, even though the woman's desire, that was one of her consequences. The word of God said the woman's desire will be after her husband who will rule over her, right? Because God now he had to set the order because they stepped out of it. But then he said your desire will be after your husband, meaning that she will have an unquenchable desire for that man no matter where he was. His consequence was you'll work by the sweat of your brow. Do you know what that means, Killzown? That means that even when he wasn't in the field working hard, in his mind, even when he was spending time with his wife, in his mind, he was still working.
Yep.
So her consequence was to desire after a husband that was never there. Because even when he is there, he's not there. Mentally. Right? Because he's still working. So here's the deal. The woman needs love because her husband mentally is always working. So God told the man, you've got to die to yourself. That's why it's a commandment. Husband, love your wives as Christ loved the church, willing to lay down his life for her. You're going to have to die to yourself mentally sometimes and cut yourself off from your projects and actually pay attention to her talking a mile a minute about something you don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't care about nothing she's talking about. You don't care about the fax machine. You don't care about the ladies at work and how they gossip. You don't care about her best friend who shouldn't have colored her toenails orange and should have stayed with the pink that she told her to in the first. You don't care about none of that.
And that be the realest stuff, bro.
Mm-hmm.
If you
But
really
and
Yep.
know.
then
The
she has to
realest.
die to
That's what
herself
I
to
meant to
give
say
you
earlier, Mama
your
Tay.
freedom.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but so now you've got the woman who has to die to herself by watching her mouth and making sure that she's building up her husband and honoring him in all things. And that means that when she with her girls, she's not talking about her man. And you can't talk about my man, right? Girl, I don't know about your man because he's stupid. Stop. Nope, don't put your mouth on him. That's mine. That's mine. And it ain't for you to know. It ain't for you to understand, really, what I have between my
I hope
mine
you don't ever
ain't your
understand,
business.
because he ain't yours to understand.
Right? He's mine. You ain't got to agree with what he
Oh,
did. It is what it is. So not only does she honor him when she's talking to him, but she honors him to make sure nobody else disrespects him. Right? So that a man could actually stand up at work and he ain't got to worry about the people at work talking behind his back about what they wives told him that they wife said about their own personal business. See what I'm saying? So that's the temptation of what you got. So the question is, does love really exist? You said for her, and that was a good point. Your point was after that woman, it doesn't exist to her because she hasn't experienced it. The truth of the matter, Killzown, is she doesn't even know what love is. Doesn't know what love is. So I agree with you. And people who don't know what love is make the mistake of believing that there's a such thing as love without knowing what love really
yep.
is about. Right? Because I have affection for a lot of people. I love my daughter. I can say I love y'all, but like I said, you kill my mama tomorrow, we don't have issues. And love is not going to be there for you in my heart. That is going to change based on your actions or based on my perception of what your actions were. Right? So the truth of the matter is that if you don't know what love is, you're going to question whether or not it exists. Right, and I think you're exactly right, Killzone. She hasn't experienced love. She don't know what love is. She probably don't even love herself because she doesn't know what love is. Like I said, loving yourself is making decisions today that future you will appreciate, which means dying to yourself today for you tomorrow. And a lot of people aren't doing that. A lot of us in the process, like watching what we eat, right, Sumo?
I just started this year, man. Man, I'm over here suffering from stuff Young Trey did, man. I'm over here like, dang, man, now I got to think about future Trey. He's like, dang, Young Trey didn't even think about me, but cool. Cool, I'll be the bigger man.
See, and the truth of the matter is you got to really love yourself before you can love anybody else. Because if you can't die to yourself for yourself, how can you die to yourself for somebody else?
Preach.
That's just the truth. So I come back to it. You were absolutely right, Killzone. The truth of the matter is she didn't know. She didn't know what love is. So she gonna have to ask that question. So to her, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Sumo?
I was too late. Y'all missed my answer, man. But next time. It was good too. I had some good ooh, man. But you know what I'm saying? This is my time, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I gotta disappear now.
Oh,
But
you
it was
can't drop
good
a
being on
nugget
around.
before you go?
Look. Damn, I have stuff to attend to at 10 o'clock.
Oh, really? What
So
time is it?
I'm with the park.
It's been cool with you, Sumo. Always.
Thank you for coming and being on
Same.
it and talking and stuff.
I learned so much tonight. Thank you all for having me.
You're
It
welcome
was a beautiful
anytime. But when I do
experience.
a next story time on the Bible story, I'll let you know.
Well,
Say
the
less.
story time has been incorporated into this, so if you do next story time and it's a Bible story, he'll probably be here.
Oh, nice. All right, then. We'll have fun with it.
I might need to read the Bible now that I done grew up, man. It sounds sleek, juicy. I sleep and want to know the story of Sodom.
Yo, get the right
Like,
translation so you don't fall asleep.
Hey, to me,
like was they really doing butt stuff in the Bible?
man, look, that was the first Housewives of Hollywood. At one point, one
Oh
of the prophets
God.
called the women of Bashan heifers, called them fat heifers to be exact.
Hey, the Bible live. I'm gonna get the nigga version.
You know, I said I was gonna write it in the Ebonics version one day.
But that's they real talk. They need an Ebonics. I'm gonna Google that. If it's an Ebonics Bible, I will read it.
You said you were, because I would want to put it in terms of today that I could understand what really happened. And then it would make
Right,
sense.
somebody need to do that.
Killzown, you gonna do
But
it?
all right, ladies, kills on.
Yeah. Have a good one,
Not the
Sumo.
streets.
I don't know
You
if I'd
too.
be a good translator.
Hey, why not? Why not? You was doing pretty good.
I mean, my I find that my calling now is to disseminate what's going on in my church and letting people know. I don't want to take that role of like not demonicizing the word, because that's like, first of all, you gotta have education and you gotta have the designation, and you have to have the anointing from God. Like when
See,
it,
actually, that last one that you said was the only thing you need.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Everything
I'm
else
saying,
before that, no.
well, I'm saying just so, because he also said the things to be decent and in order in the way, and just so it
So
does
you're
not
telling me
cause.
if God anoints you and it's not going to be indecently in order? Because
No,
even though
no,
he
it
anointed
is. I'm just
David,
saying going through
right?
I'm going through the proper channels to make sure that it is that it's
Oh,
done
right.
correctly. That's what
David
I'm
did
saying.
too. David did too. And he was anointed, right? He
Yeah,
was
that's what
anointed to
I'm
be
saying.
king, but he still waited till the opportunity was there.
Yes, I'm saying, that's what I was saying basically.
Yeah.
Like basically just making sure that I said the order, but I said it the wrong way. So, no, but that, like, I feel like when it's opportunities that arise and I'm able to speak that to somebody like Sumo, he wants to know. So
Mm-hmm.
the problem is, the problem comes in when the people that necessarily don't want to know is like, I wait for those things, wait for those opportunities, and I'm trying now to kind of branch out, even in doing this, as far as branch out and communicate, and Loopy is like really helping me with that, because she's like not afraid, or even if she is, she's just like, hey, come on, let's go and do this, or hey, come on, let's go, and I'm like, you know, I had to have a purpose on going and things, but sometimes you do got to step out there in the field and see what's going on. But no, I haven't really thought about that.
Okay.
Not to go on too long, but that's a interesting observation that you have.
But the truth is that you do wait to the opportunity, and the good thing about it is that when we were having this discussion, Sumo was receptive to it. You didn't have to beat him over the head with it. He got something out of it, and then it made him want to know himself, right? And that's really all we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So when God uses you for whatever He's going to use you for, and whatever your calling is, and most likely it'll be something with gaming, or maybe even introducing the design of a role playing game where they have biblical characters, where this kind of thing actually came on. And now you make beating Goliath with a huge pole. He got a huge pole, and you ain't got nothing but some rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Make that exciting, or make people want to know more about the purpose or the inception of this game. You never know how he's going to use you to do it. Just keep being open to it. But I was just
Mm-hmm.
excited that you jumped into it knowing what you know, and you weren't ashamed to say, this is what I know. You jumped right
Mm-hmm.
into that conversation. So I appreciated that about you, because some people want to act like they don't know because they feel like people will look at them different. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, Loopy, what are we doing?
I don't know. I don't comprehend
You
that thinking, because I don't never act like
you
I know something or don't know something.
She over here playing the game, Killzown. My game, in fact.
Yeah, you died. I'm sorry. I was listening to y'all though, because I'm a woman and we multitask. Anyway, I don't understand anybody's train of thought of thinking when they deny something, because people look at them differently. First of all, I don't have to justify who I am, what I am, how I say it on most things. So I just I don't understand the train of thought.
Okay.
We pretty much covered everything. We in the closing, so Sumo kind of left right on time because that was the last thing we had to discuss.
Well, that was a pretty good discussion. I think that love question was actually a good question for her, the young lady, does love really exist? Because if we were able to answer her and tell her in that respect, I think she would have gotten something out of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of agree with it.
Well, so. When we get an audience, we can start answering questions for real at the end. But until then, this has been Governor LoOpy's Round Table. Next week, whoever's at the round table, I'm gonna toss out some things and allow some people to have some input on everything that we got going. Meaning, if you're at the round table, chances are I'm one to reach out and ask. It can't be me ranting all the time.
Yes, go ahead, rant.
Nobody needs that in their life. So, anyway, just feel free to reach out to us on Facebook at a Facebook group where we share podcasts, promote growth. That's pretty much what I do: promote growth and building with each other. Just Governor LoOpy's Roundtable is what it is. And I'm not gonna get all that information. I put that in the comments. We just gonna close it because
he tired.
a little bit.
She tired.
I've been laying down all day. I shouldn't be anyway. Thank you for watching.
Killzown. Peace out, man.
No, he's
all right.
off on his.
Okay. What is that?